Why is he no longer in Brooklyn?
The biggest reason Kevin Durant's no longer in Brooklyn is that he didn't want to be in Brooklyn anymore, and he wanted to be in Phoenix.
Kevin Durant is a Phoenix Sun. I think the Phoenix Suns just won the NBA championship.
Should the Suns be the favorites to win the West?
Absolutely, they should be the favorite.
They're definitely the favorites right now to win the Western Conference.
This is the best chance that the Phoenix Suns have of winning the NBA championship in my lifetime.
You had a 2-0 lead against the Milwaukee Bucks, and you lost that series 4-2. In an elimination game, Game 7, you were down 30 at the half. This year, facing elimination, Game 6, you're down 30 at the half.
Yeah, it sucked. It was a bad feeling. It was embarrassing. They came out and hit us in the mouth. We couldn't recover.
Man, I should have known better. We all should have known better, to be honest. I'm sure there were some that were ahead of the curve, but even the odds makers bought in the hype down in Phoenix. I mean, some sports books like DraftKings and Caesars had the Suns as high as second best odds to win the championship at the start of the first round. This isn't even a Phoenix is a cursed franchise type thing like with the Chargers. This is just simple logic that we as fans just keep overlooking. Two players, no matter how good, do not make a basketball team. I know Chris Paul's injury took out a quality veteran, but it's not like they looked all that competitive with him out there in the first 2 games. Ayton might be a former first overall pick, but Jock Landale, a dude that looks like he's an assistant manager at the second worst Bass Pro Shop in your area, outplayed him in the series. The Suns traded 2 of their best rotational players and defenders, Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, in the KD trade, leaving the team with 2 of the best offensive weapons in the league, and not much else. By the time the second round came around, the media started to pick up on the fact that, hey, maybe the Suns don't really have enough help off the bench to help them win a championship. And going up against a team in Denver who had a really good bench, it became a focal point of the series. If you just look at the bench points, there really isn't that much of a difference. Denver got 21.6 points per game, Phoenix got 21.3, so pretty much even. But a lot of those points came in garbage time. A better metric to describe how reliant the Suns were on Kevin and Devin is the fact that those two scored 56% of the Suns' points in the series. Only DeAndre Ayton ended up with double-digit points alongside them, while the Nuggets had 4 different players in double digits alongside Jokic and Murray. And it was clear to anyone watching the games too. Everyone knew the Suns had no chance unless KD and Booker both put up 35+. I'm sorry, Suns fans, but a supporting cast of an aging Chris Paul, an upset big man that doesn't like to go get rebounds, budget Mikal Bridges who gave you a strong 2.2 points per game in this series, and a bench full of nothing special 30-year-olds isn't enough to get you a title. People point to super teams and power duos of the past as an example for why whatever new one pops up, as they seem to every year now, should be the new title favorites and should have everyone around the league shaking in their Jordans. But just because you don't remember the names like Michael Cooper, Byron Scott, and Norm Nixon doesn't mean it was Magic, Kareem, Worthy, and nobodies. Jordan and Pippen had Rodman, Grant, Kukoc, Longley, Kerr, all providing quality roles. As opposed to the greatest duo of all time, Shaq and Kobe, the Suns duo don't have a guy off the bench like Robert Horry who can hit a big shot. They don't have an enforcer type like Rick Fox, or Glenn Rice or Derek Fisher who can give you double-digit points, or a good defensive guard like Ron Harper. Maybe you think that KD, Booker, and Ayton can be like LeBron, Wade, and Bosh in Miami. Delusional thought, but I'll ride with it for a sec. Yeah, it's true, that team didn't have a lot of help outside like Shane Battier and Mario Chalmers. But in today's NBA, when you have guys like Brogdon, Mathurin, Bobby Portis, Quickly, Monk all coming off the bench, you can't not have depth to compete with that. The league has gotten way too talented to get away with no bench. To be honest, the league has gotten so talented that it might need an expansion to 2 extra teams, but that's a different video. This power duo or super team idea doesn't work in today's NBA with no depth. It just doesn't. We've seen this time after time after time over the past few years. And time after time, the team gets hyped up and seen as a championship favorite. And time after time, they fall well short. Yet, time after time, people come back the next season optimistic about their chances. Not me though. I'm over it. I'm done. I refuse to be tricked again. Unless they make some major changes to the roster and add more pieces around Book and Durant, I'm expecting the same outcome. And doing that might prove more difficult than you might think. Even with the coming salary cap increase next season, the Suns are not just going to be over the cap, but likely over the luxury tax too, which is going to make it pretty difficult on them to add some significant talent to the roster to help out. The team is going to have 4 different $30 million or more contracts next season, 2 of them going to guys that didn't particularly play all that well this series. They could try to trade Ayton, but after the series and after the attitude he showed after getting benched when he was getting outplayed by Landale, I don't know what team is going to want him, especially considering he's tied to that massive contract for the next 3 seasons. Maybe a tanking team like the Spurs or Hornets. Maybe Portland is desperate enough to get help for Dame. But what are you going to get out of that? Devontae Graham? Terry Rozier? It's not like you have the assets to get a guy like Keldon Johnson because you shipped them all out to get KD. A young guy like that is exactly what a team like this needs as one of the oldest teams in the league. But another way this team could get younger while also freeing up cap space at the same time would be a bit of a shocker move they could make, but a move I could see them making this offseason. The Suns could save $16.4 million this year and $30 million the next year if they cut Chris Paul by June 28th. Will they choose to go that route? I don't know. What I know is 2 things. 1, that Ayton contract is going to look real ugly for the next 3 years, and 2, firing last year's Coach of the Year is not going to be the ultimate fix to the Suns' problems. Obviously, I don't got intel on what's going on inside the locker room or between him and the front office, but I just don't understand the firing. I get that the past 3 seasons have ended in somewhat embarrassing to extremely embarrassing fashion for the Suns, but this season, I don't see as Monty Williams' fault. At least give him, who we know is a capable coach, at least give him a full season of Booker and Durant to figure out the pieces he needs alongside them. Instead, they give him 8 games with KD before the playoffs, an easy first-round matchup, and then a matchup against the 1 seed in the West. Make it make sense. What it looks like to me is a new owner seeing an excuse to get rid of a guy he never liked personally to install someone himself into the head coaching spot. To where if they succeed, whether it be Tyronn Lue, Nick Nurse, or Frank Vogel, if they succeed, Matt Ishbia gets the praise and the credit for the hire, not the former front office. But if the plan from Matt Ishbia going forward for the team is going to continue to be Durant, Booker, and a bunch of nothing else, no coaching hire is going to save this team from another premature playoff exit next year. So you might be left with the question, alright smart guy, if you know so much, what should the Suns do then? How should they approach building a team around KD and Booker? I don't know. I'm just a dumb sports fan making YouTube videos. That's not my job, that's their job. If you want my input, they gotta hire me. They gotta hire me if they want that from me. Anyways, that's the end of the video. I appreciate you watching. I really do. I appreciate everybody that likes the video. I appreciate everybody that comments down below. I really love the comments down below. It means a lot to me. And hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content from me. If you don't do any of that, I still appreciate you being here. I still appreciate you watching the video through to the end. And I will see you, hopefully, for my next video. Yep. Bye.